I am here with the future of product management, the fellows and mentors in the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator. So the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator was started here at the University of Washington to solve a real problem that we see. It was in the welcome video, but I don't know who saw the welcome video because I don't know what happened with CVent and their global shutdown. But the innovation has a chance to improve lives. And as you've heard from time and time, speaker after speaker, innovations all too often exclude and serve the few and are by the few. And we're trying to solve that here at the Product Management Center here at the University of Washington. We have an opportunity to bring in more diverse voices. We have an opportunity to have everybody, no matter the lived experiences, if it's similar to mine, similar to yours, we could make sure that everybody could think more broadly about who we serve with our products. And I hope that we have the Inclusive Product Champions recognition because there are people who are building a more inclusive future, and they need all of us and our support to cheer them on as they continue fighting for all of us. And so we started this, this is the first inaugural Inclusive Product Management Champions, and I hope that you will be inspired by the people that you meet as we recognize them. And I hope that you will be energized that here at the University of Washington and all the speakers, all the organizations, and our sponsors, Zillow, Amazon's our platinum sponsor, Zillow, Axon, Microsoft, Motorola Solutions, oh boy. Did I say Zillow? Might have said them 3 times. Motorola. Anyway, I'll name them, don't worry. But there's so many organizations that are committed to this, committed to inclusion. And so we're hoping that through this, recognizing Inclusive Product Management Champions, that you know that there's a world hoping that you will do the same. And we can't recognize everybody, but we've recognized 10 people. We're recognizing 10 people today. I want you at home, if you can, please turn on your camera. This is a celebration. Here is a celebration. And the purpose of this is to put wind in the sails of the people doing the hard work and the heart work, and also to celebrate each other. So turn your camera on. When we talk about people, give a round of applause. You're going to have the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator applause back here, but we love yours as well. This organization, the Product Management Center, if this is your first time interacting with the Product Management Center, our organization, our family here is collaborative, diverse, inclusive, hypothesis-driven, bold, inspiring, outcome-oriented, and empowering. And the people we're going to recognize today, even if they haven't done this through the Product Management Center, we're trying to just recognize people doing the hard work. They've lived these values, and we're proud to crown them Inclusive Product Management Champions. The first 5 people have done the work through us, and they've started this program, which I want to share with you.
My name is Eddie Harmon, and I am a fellow in the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator.
I am an innovator.
I am a future product manager.
I am driven. I am ready to learn.
And I am resilient.
The Inclusive Product Management Accelerator program is
just amazing.
Innovative.
Family. Opportunity.
A priceless resource.
Where we come together to learn.
From like people who works in the industry.
We're waiting to make the world a better place.
The Product Management Center at UW has given me
mentorship, learning, and support.
A priceless network.
It has given me hope,
confidence, friendship, opportunities that I never thought about.
Ooh, a lot already. It's been like a few weeks. I hope you support this community.
Help us transform lives and inspire the next generation.
Make an impact.
Invest in the next generation of tech talent that will change the world.
We are people from different backgrounds, but we all have one goal to become successful product managers.
We are hungry to learn.
We are change makers.
We are bold. We are the future. We are a force to be reckoned with.
We are people who want to thrive by improving people's lives.
We are ready.
And we need many more inclusive product managers out there changing the world.
Together we can succeed no matter what.
Together we can continue to lift as we climb.
Together we can inspire the next generation.
And together we can change the world.
So I want to first acknowledge the inclusive product management champion, Marty Burris, who launched that. Say a few words to like why you started this program.
Oh man, Jeff. Start with fountain. So we're old spot. We're expecting this one, but I will say it is incredibly powerful to be in this room of people, to see folks online, and to just kind of be in this moment. You know, we started this over a year ago and we went really, really fast. And we scaled, we hit bumps, we hit bruises, and we kept going. And so to be here and to see product managers who have come through this program, who have jobs, who have opportunities, it means so much to see so many really diverse faces that have not historically been represented in this industry and in the work that I've had the privilege of doing. It just means so much. And to have done this with Jeff, you know, Jeff likes to hype me up, but at the end of the day, we are partners. I'm not a founder, I'm a co-founder. We did this together. And I will always be grateful that you took a risk on some girl you met on LinkedIn. And we do a lot of work together. And it's been an incredible journey, and we're just getting started. That's the wild part about all of this. We're just starting. We just laid the foundation of something I think is going to be absolutely magical for years to come. So shout out to y'all. Thank you so much.
All right, so as Marty said, she didn't do this alone. It's been one of the best part about all the work that we're doing at the Product Management Center is the people, and the people who just put their time on the line, their life is on the line to fight for somebody else instead of for themselves. And everybody on this steering committee has lived that. So next up, the Inclusive Product Management Champion, Felix, I'd love for you to come off mute. Share a little bit about why you've put so much of your heart and soul into giving everybody here an opportunity to have community, have the knowledge, and have access everybody has to show what they deserve and show who they are.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jeff. And yeah, it's awesome to see y'all there. I wish I could be there with you, honestly. Seeing y'all in person, all there live is amazing. So I've been a product manager for 4 years now. And I still remember what it felt like when I got that first role, right? It was hard. You know, I applied to dozens of jobs. I got a handful of interviews. I got 2 offers. And at the end of it, I was like, man, that was hard. But you know what? It could have been even harder. What I didn't say is I've been involved in tech since I was in middle school, writing code since I was a sophomore in high school. I had a dad who was an electrical engineer. I went to one of the top business schools in the world, and that helped open a lot of doors for me. And as I thought about that first role and how many people didn't have all those privileges, you know, it just really raised the importance to me to like pay some of that privilege back, pay it forward. And so, you know, when I had the opportunity to start helping people, I started right away. I was doing dozens of chats. I did probably over 100 chats with people trying to talk to them about product management. But it wasn't scalable, you know? So when Jeff reached out to me again, just, you know, somebody he reached out to on LinkedIn and said, you know, there was an opportunity to help folks that were, you know, historically underrepresented in this industry, you know, I jumped on it. And it's amazing to see, you know, the progress we've made in such a short time. And I can't wait to see what happens next and what all of you do, you know, with your opportunity that you've now been given. So yeah, just grateful to be a part of it and happy to keep paying it forward.
Thank you, Felix. Again, Inclusive Product Management Champion, somebody fighting for a better future. Honor to work with you. Next up, Diego Granados, PM at LinkedIn.
Hello.
Congratulations, and tell us your why.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everyone. It's so great to be here with all of you. I wish I could be in the room, but no, this is awesome. I'm originally from Mexico. Mexico City is home for me. And when I moved to the US to study my MBA, it was, you know, this really cool experience of, I'm in a room full of, we were, I think 40 or 50% internationals, and we were living in Durham, North Carolina, which is a really small town. So it was an amazing experience because I saw all these diversity and all of these people just being together, being friends, and having a great connection. Then I moved on to my first tech company. I worked at Cisco, and I joined, and I was still excited, pumped, and I just wanted to find, in my case, more Mexicans and more Latinos, and just share that feeling with them. And I couldn't find many, and I just kept looking, and as we've seen in throughout history here in the US, I did find a lot of Latinos, but not a lot of them were working in product. In fact, I only met one other person in all of Cisco who was a product manager. Most of the Latinos that I actually was talking in Spanish with were in the kitchen, were cleaning the different floors in Cisco, and amazing conversations that I had with them. But I just couldn't find many Latinos in tech. I learned that their kids were getting into tech, but not at Cisco. Then I moved on to Microsoft, and it was a cultural shock because that experience of being the different person in the room, it was a huge step from that. And I started to be in a team with women, with people of color, with more Latinos like myself, and it was just amazing. And when I'm going to fast forward and then come back to Jeff, but when I moved to LinkedIn, it's insane that this has to be a shock, but I'm the only man in my team, and that is incredible. I've never been in a team like that, and we are 6, and literally I'm the only man, and I'm the Latino, and my team is full of women from Europe, from Asia, from the US, from all parts of the world, and it's just incredible. And that's where I truly believe of my team is powerful, because we bring that diversity, because we're inclusive, because we make sure that everyone has a voice. When Jeff reached out and said, hey, we're building this, I didn't even know what the project was, but I said, yes, count with me, because I want to help people. I want to help to bring more diversity into product, because honestly, beyond being the only different in the room, it's hard. I really believe that to build better products, you have to be diverse, you have to be inclusive, and that's why we're here. And that's why like with Felix, we work full time, we do a bunch of other stuff, but we are here to support every single person in the program. And so Jeff and Marty, really thank you for starting this, and I'm so glad to be part of this journey. So hopefully that was not too long, but that's really my why I'm still here.
Next up, we have Ravina Velashia from Amazon, been instrumental in starting this, working together with everybody here, reading countless applications, and personally being involved in the selection of everybody you see behind me. Ravina, welcome, congrats, Inclusive Product Management Champion. Share your why, please.
I'll talk. You guys can look at my photo. That was pre-COVID, so my hair was relaxed. I'm natural now for all the Black women who went through quarantine with me. So super excited to be able to just see you guys in a room. I think the energy around this steering committee and this accelerator has been pretty exciting. I think similar to many people, I met Jeffrey, I think through LinkedIn when he reached out. But, for me, I think as a Black woman I've been at Amazon and in tech for over 10 years, but I'm from the South Side of Chicago, the first person in my family to graduate college, also got my MBA, and I had to do a lot of things as the first in my family. And I have a lot of family support and love and encouragement, but as far as direction or connection or open doors, I really had to do that through networking and building community. And so for me, it's very important that, I am able to pull up more chairs. Like I never want to be in an environment where, people are like, oh, Ravina, you're so awesome. I'm like, nope, I know 10 more people who are as awesome or more awesome than me. And so I think being able to pull up more chairs and create, opportunity for others is really important for professionals of minority backgrounds. I think when you look at even Black-owned companies or minority-owned companies, where's our succession planning? Like, why aren't we handing things down generation and building more people up? Like, we're just selling companies off instead of building it. And so it's something very dear to my entrepreneurial spirit to see just the opportunity of opening doors for others. And so I think in this organization in particular, being in product is just all about problem solving, figuring out how to get beyond roadblocks, having good networking skills and getting the most from your cross-functional partners. It's all of the grit and the skill set that like people of color have needed to get things done like our entire lives. So I think innately many of us have been product managing things all over, our day-to-day life. So I think it's a very exciting career path to bring this diverse perspective into, because we've been problem solving in creative ways culturally and generationally, like all over the world. And so, I've spent probably six months of my time on this committee on maternity leave. So, I've gone through a lot of applications and been able to read and understand who you guys are. I'm hoping in the next few months and the next few cohorts, I can be a little more involved on the day to day as I'm getting back into work life and sitting at a screen and all those things. But I think it's important that we just continue to invite others and make it so that, like, Diego, you can continue to have some of these bizarre experiences where teams and dynamics are more mixed and more diverse, and we can see women, men, minorities, families, just people who are able to have successful professional lives while also holding on to important parts of their cultural identity and personal identity. So, I want to be a Black woman in tech who's working on things not focused on Black people, but just solving problems. And I think once our perspective is just a part of the everyday perspective and not a part of the let's do something diversity focused perspective, like we'll actually start building bigger and better things across the board. So thanks for letting me drop in and see all of you guys. And I'm definitely looking forward to continuing to see what everyone does after this experience.
Thank you, Ravina, Inclusive Product Management Champion. And I want to shout out the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator. We've got still amazing talent ready to be product managers. And so if you want to get in touch with them, reach out to me. We'd love for you to hire from them. Or even better yet, we'd love for you to embed your company into our organization, like Amazon, Salesforce, T-Mobile Digital, and Starbucks have done. So those 4 companies, Amazon, Salesforce, and T-Mobile, are platinum sponsors that made it possible for us to do this at scale. And Starbucks was our first partner as a silver partner. And so hopefully you could bring your organization. And if you're from T-Mobile, Salesforce, Amazon, or Starbucks, you could have pride that your organizations care about inclusion, mentoring this group here, and financially supporting our ability to give this free program, have this free program empowering people who deserve to be in product management. Markel, Baldwin, Inclusive Product Management Champion, he was here, jumped on real quick, right and early, helped us scope out what this program would look like. Unfortunately, can't be here today, as far as I know, unless he wants to pop off mute and as a surprise guest, but he's worthy of recognition, and we appreciate all that he's done. Next, I want to transition to another 2 people who have done really putting in the hard work to make the world more inclusive. Sumaya Ben-Ghanem and Red Rusek, the 2 of them have spent 1 year, 13 months actually, no, 15 months, sorry, it was a year in February, time flies. So they've been every single week for 15 months sharing their time and making sure that the product management knowledge is accessible to all. So I want to give a shout out. Red, I guess you've got to go first because you're on the left there. Red, tell us a little bit about why on earth are you spending 15 months with me every week making the world more inclusive?
It's funny, usually Sumaya gets to go first. So Jeff, this is a relief. Thank you for the honor. And Sumaya, I noticed that Jeff didn't make any bad puns or red D jokes. For all those who have no idea what I'm talking about, this is awkward for me because I'm seeing faces. And for 15 months, there were no faces, but rather profile clips and mute and unmute claps, which is a Clubhouse version of an applause. And I spent 15 months willingly with Jeff. But before I say why, I want to just leave a gift to the room, a joke because it wouldn't be a complete conversation with Jeff, Sumaya, and I if we didn't add some dry humor. A product manager tries to walk into a bar, but can't because the door isn't scheduled until next release. And that is my really bad product manager joke of the day. So first of all, why am I doing this? Why did I do it for 15 months plus? Well, for the first part, we're in the golden age of product management. There's been an incredible explosion, an insane explosion over the last decade. There are more product managers than ever before. And I can say this because I spent the last decade working with these ringleaders, the curious observers, the opportunists, the problem makers or the problem solvers, depending on how you look at it. And when the opportunity presented itself in Clubhouse specifically, I was noticing that there were all these product managers just hovering around a celebrity, not just Clubhouse, but Sumaya, my colleague. And I'm like, Jeff, listen, we know where the product managers are hanging out. They're hanging out in this thing called Clubhouse. We got to start a podcast. We got to start it over here. Like, let's not worry about a platform. He's like, no, I'm a marketer. We need a brief. We need to create a Google Doc and talk about it. I love you, Jeff. And I just basically started it within an hour with Sumaya. I'm like, this is Sumaya. You've never met. And within a week, we were interviewing the most influential product managers. And for the next year, blessed we were in being able to help guide and answer questions from those who were seeing closed doors prior to meeting us, those who did not feel included. And if there was anything I'm built for, and if this is the day I die, my why is to always help other people find what they're looking for and make it fun. And so for that alone, I take zero credit for this. I'm living my why, but the platform is really Sumaya and Jeff who give the value to the product managers every single day. So with that, I want to say thank you for the opportunity, not be thanked.
Thank you, Red, for being there week in and week out. Always a pleasure.
Heartfelt and funny all in one. It's like a great movie, man. Thank you, Red. Sumaya, it's been such an honor spending every week with you as you just ask some amazing probing questions, as you share some insights, as you refuse to give us the controversy that we ask for, as you always agree. But it's an honor having you as an inclusive product management champion. I'd love to hear your why you've dedicated so much time to this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this podcast is an intersection of two things I care deeply about. I care about opening up doors to people who are underrepresented to show up in product management, to welcome them, to create a space for them to belong. And I recognize that my voice is not necessarily a typical voice. And I also recognize that, you know, my passion, which is really the second reason, my passion for the practice of product management, my love for it, is something I just want to share. It's like an infection I have, and it's contagious. And so those two things really came together. One of the things I get questions about all the time. I haven't talked about this before. People ask me, how come you know the answer to every question? And I don't. I really don't. But I have to tell you, even though I don't actually prepare for every show, beyond my daily work, I actually spend hours of times learning more about my craft, talking to people, curious about, you know, what are people doing that's different? How are they doing it? And while I might sound maybe like I know everything I'm talking about, truly at the end of the day, I think all of us want to show up as humble people. We're all trying to learn. And so creating this space is something I'm proud of. And I'm happy to have met both of you and to have been doing it with you both. So thank you.
All right, and those Clubhouse conversations are how several of you heard about the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator, right? To give a snap or a applause for that for Red and Sumaya. Red, it's good. It's funny. So for those, this is like my third time seeing Red in person too. So or quote unquote person. So this was awesome for me. Red, Sumaya, Inclusive Product Management Champions, thank you so much. Now I want to acknowledge three people. We took calls for nominations Just we wanted to hear who's doing the work that is getting recognized and that's inspiring others. We had dozens and dozens of nominations, people who took their valuable time to write essays as to why somebody inspired them as they're building a better future. And we chose among them, we anonymized it, so we scrubbed their names. So this isn't a popularity contest. We anonymized those nominations. We had 3 people read those nominations. And so we chose the 3 that had multiple strongly recommend from the reviewers and multiple nominations that came in from the open call to everybody. So these are 3 people that have truly inspired both the individuals who nominated them and the volunteers who read through the nominations. So I just want to read a couple things that was said about our first one. Instrumental in supporting women-owned businesses and re-engaging women back into the workforce, especially during COVID, by making jobs, mentorship, and skills-based education more accessible for women in product management around the world. Somebody else wrote, a superhuman. She is a product leader, creator, founder, and investor. And now she could add inclusive product management champion to that list. And built a community to enable and empower women in product management. It's my pleasure to acknowledge product management champion, Naimisha Murthy.
Well, I mean, thank you so much. Can everybody hear me? Okay, awesome. Well, I have never heard so many nice things about myself. So this is really very, very nice. Thank you for this really special honor. I'm really humbled to receive this award, to be honest. Thank you, Jeffrey. I mean, we've never really met in person, but I'm such a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of everyone here. Really, thank you, everyone. The steering committee, the product management center, and my, most importantly, my community, Products by Women, who really kind of brought me up to this point, without whom I really wouldn't have been inspired to do all the work that I'm doing today. To give you some context, like I really started Products by Women, which is the community that I've built out, when I personally was pivoting from product marketing into product management. And during that time, I observed that I really didn't have all the chops and the skills to be a really good product manager. And when I looked around me, I really didn't find anybody who looked like me in leadership positions within the organization that I worked in. So I decided to create a small community. Actually, let's rephrase that, a small meetup group. And I remember literally begging all my coworkers and saying, hey, do you want to come out for a drink? Because no one's going to turn up. But surprisingly, we had a full house that day. And then the pandemic hit, and our community really grew to over 20,000 women from around the world. We made jobs, mentorship, and learning opportunities more accessible to over 14,000 learners for absolutely free, which I am very proud of. And I'm also very proud of like everybody and grateful to everybody who's given back their time. So thank you, everyone. I'm also, with that, I'm really also wanted to share that I'm working on this really exciting, in the pursuit of making things more inclusive for women in the space. I'm very excited to kind of launch this Women in Product Global Fellowship in partnership with Stronger Ventures. Essentially, our goal is really, and this is all going to be live on June 1st to transition more women into product management and innovation. This is a very unique opportunity to work and shadow some of the most powerful women in product, not just here in the US, but also in Asia and Europe, travel, gain exposure, and so on. So yeah, stay tuned. Follow us on productsbywomen.com. Again, I'm so humbled to be here. Thank you so much for all the nominations and everything else. And yeah, I'd love to continue seeing how I can be of any help here. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you again for all the work that you're doing to build a more inclusive future. Our next nominee, next inclusive product management champion, one nomination. He cares deeply about witnessing others succeed. Somebody had a testimonial. I joined his online community as initially as a means to transition into tech, but my motivation is now all about giving back and encouraging others. So someone came to his community looking for something for themselves and came away learning that joy is giving back to others. So this is really inspiring. And this is another one. I found him at a time when I was giving up on product management. I conceded that it probably wasn't for me and was almost certain that I could not break into the role. His posts on LinkedIn were inspiring, and I remember looking forward to his events. And if you read the full nomination, this is somebody who is giving up on product management, and now, thanks to this inclusive product management champion, is now in product management. So changing lives, inspiring others to give back. Please join me in welcoming Jay Taylor.
Hey, everybody. Well, thank you very much for the nomination. Very exciting, very cool to see so many diverse faces here. So for those of you that don't know me, my why, I tell you, so I was a single dad. I don't have a bachelor's degree. And I was trying to make money. I was delivering newspapers in the morning. I was working an office assistant job at night. I was trying to go to community college at night, trying to make things work. And finally, I became an entrepreneur. And that's kind of when I came into tech, and I didn't know what I was doing. And so, I was helping people. I was helping my, basically working at being an entrepreneur, trying to figure stuff out, trying to provide for my family. And then, the financial crisis hit. But because of all of my entrepreneurial background, I've been an engineering manager at Expedia, a senior PM at Microsoft, director of product at Salesforce, a GPM at Twitter, a senior director of product at Peloton. And I did a lot of this because of the power of community, the power of networking, grit. There's so much that comes into being successful that people don't realize. And I try to share that a lot, which is why I post a lot on LinkedIn. And a couple of years ago, I posted on LinkedIn and I was like, well, hey, if anybody wants mentorship, I'm happy to share my story, kind of try to help inspire some people not to quit. Because I remember, in my early days, never thinking I could achieve what I did. And I got about 400 people on LinkedIn and another 500 people on Facebook that said that they wanted mentorship. And I realized, wow, we've got a problem here. Nobody has mentors. I've never had a mentor my entire career. And I've begged, and, I do think it's a little bit tougher even when you're part of an underrepresented group. It's even tougher to find mentorship. And I started thinking more about it. And this is when I became a founder of mentormesh.io about 2 years ago. And I'm like, what, I've been in tech, 15 years at the time. I'm like, what am I going to do for the next 15 years? I don't really have any desire to climb the corporate ladder, but instead, I'm like, I've been focusing the last 2 years on sharing kind of my message. I was lost. I didn't know what I was doing. I remember my dad told me, a long time ago, he's like, yeah, you should work for Microsoft. And I remember thinking, there's no way. Microsoft has to be filled with some of the smartest people in the world. There's no way. But I've worked for Microsoft and I performed very well there. And I found that even a lot of my colleagues, they had a very different mindset than I did. And I learned the power of being an entrepreneur. I learned the power of community, the importance of networking, not just networking, but influencing without authority. Sometimes people will over focus on the domain. And I like to help people to open their eyes up to the power of helping other people and connecting with people, building community, and what that can do for opportunities for you. It's not just about being an expert product manager. Leadership is mentorship. Leadership is helping people be better around you, enabling people around you. That's what leadership is. Even if you're a VP of product or VP of design, VP of engineering, you're doing the same thing. Your job is to enable people under you, to enable your colleagues around you to do the best work that they can do. That's leadership. And I think a lot of companies, they really should invest more time in mentorship. And so I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to change the way people think. It's not just about being a domain expert. It's about supporting the people around you. And so I started MentorMesh about 2 years ago. We run programs. We run Accelerator programs. I'm launching a boot camp that's actually going to be launched on Tuesday, because I think a lot of people, it's more than just being a product manager. A lot of people, we just want a good job. We've got families. And you'll find that, the roles that exist today are going to change tomorrow. The companies that are on top today are going to be different tomorrow. So what does that mean? That means if you want stability, you need to aggressively pursue growth, seek financial independence, and retire early. The days of working for a company for 30, 40 years are over. Companies don't stay around that long anymore. So that's what I teach people, how to aggressively pursue growth. And I found that even people within tech companies now, right? Like I left my Microsoft colleagues a while back and I tripled my income in like 3 months, or excuse me, not 3 months. I wish it was 3 months. It was 3 years. But still, right? And a lot of it is because people get comfortable. They get comfortable, but you can't be comfortable. I mean, look at the stock market today, yesterday, this week. This is not the time to be comfortable. So I teach people to aggressively pursue growth, because what's very cool about my career journey is that I never applied for any of these jobs. Not a one of them. If you use platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter and you build inclusion, you build community, you help people first, you never have to apply for a job. They'll come and find you. Companies understand that the most important value, the asset for a company is you. They know that. Make yourself findable. Instead, people will study and they get smart, but they don't let themselves be findable. How do I find you? Right? So I teach things like that. And again, like when it comes to being underrepresented, so MentorMesh is just under 5,000 people. I think we're about 90% underrepresented groups. I'm raising 4 daughters that are Black, Korean, white, and Native American. So I'm raising a family that, imagine what that does to identity. I'm Black and Korean myself. There's challenges that we deal with that a lot of people don't think about, right? And don't think that just because you get a job means the journey is over. It's not over. It's just beginning. So you need a community around you. So MentorMesh is the community that I think that we all need, because you're going to want to quit. There's going to be tough days. You're going to need help and support. Who's going to remind you how far you've come? And we've already seen dozens and dozens of people in the community land amazing opportunities, and we continue to help each other and lift each other up. That's what MentorMesh is all about. So much that I no longer work for any tech company, and this is what I'm doing full time. I want to help hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people go from being office assistants and join the best industry in the world. Tech is fantastic. Tech is business, right? Tech changes your life. I'm going to buy my mom's house this year. This is not things that I ever think that you think you can do, but you can. So anyways, that's what I love. I love helping people. Thank you so much for the honor. Yeah, tech is diverse.
Congratulations again, Jay, Inclusive Product Management Champion. Thank you so much for sharing your why here with everybody today. And I hope that your words inspire others. Very touching. And I want to give one more Inclusive Product Management Champion before we break for networking. He always makes sure that people working with him feel as though they have a voice for the product they're working on, and constantly provides opportunities for feedback and growth. He is helping individuals and organizations be more inclusive by making empathy a daily habit. His boldness to speak up on LinkedIn about his past mistakes, learnings, and diverse perspectives is inspiring to help others stand up for their colleagues, be aware, and help those self-reflect. Sorry, I want to pause 1 second, because this is like all the Inclusive Product Management Champions keep mentioning LinkedIn. They do not pay us. Want to make that clear. Not yet, at least. Well, they should. And also, Marty and I met at the summit last year. I also had to clarify that. Marty and I met at because of the summit. But anyway, back to this one, back to all about this person, making individuals and organizations be more inclusive by making empathy a daily habit. This is a big deal. The platform is less relevant than the boldness to speak up about past mistakes, learnings, and diverse perspectives, inspiring others. And he adds a level of empowerment and inclusion to all of the product and engineering teams within our organization. So this is somebody who had nominations from within his own organization, nominations from people who've seen what he's doing in online and on LinkedIn. And we are pleased to recognize an Inclusive Product Management Champion, Kevin Shaw.
I'm just taking in those words. This is the first time I'm seeing those words. So it's kind of, it's surreal. So what an honor. Thank you so much. My why is, so it goes back to growing up in India, where I was this awkward little kid in Kolkata looking for community, looking for friendship, looking for love, when all I got was exclusion. All I felt was alone. And those were moments where I remember in school, in high school, middle school, I would just, most nights I would either like just fight with my brother and go to bed, or just turn over and tear up and cry because I went to bed that day feeling alone again and again, because I didn't know how to live. I didn't know, because the systems I was part of, the systems, the school I went to the best school in India, but all I was taught was narcissism. I was taught to be narcissistic because that's what our systems are. And so those things didn't work for me. And I kept trying to figure out, how do I make friends, or how do I get community and be included? So I decided that I will reset my life and move to the United States and see it. Maybe that's the answer. And then I did that. And coming to the United States, it didn't quite change as much. It helped a little, but it didn't change much, because I remember the college was the hardest times. It was some of the toughest times I had. And I felt the loneliest here. I didn't know anyone. And the friends I made were harmful, toxic, bullies. And it's a story that a lot of us have. And that's led me to constantly realize that one of the worst pains we can give each other is exclusion. One of the worst things we can do to humanity is not let people feel seen, heard, or understood. And so my why is, how do I build community? How do I continue to be the person that unlearns narcissism, role models behaviors, and then creates communities where people feel seen, heard, and understood? And whether that be in tech as a leader, as a manager, as a product manager, whether that be in my group of friends, whether that be in family, wherever it can be, we can bring love to those places for ourselves first, so that that love can emanate out of us and reflect back to others. And so when I think about my why, I think about, as a product manager, we have the power to build products where people can feel understood, that people can see themselves in that products, can feel that they've been seen and heard. And that is the power of a product manager. That is the power of an inclusive product manager and the power of inclusion. So my why is ever bringing in the powers of empathy so that we can reverse narcissism, unlearn that, and start building products and communities where people feel seen, heard, and understood, so that I can also feel heard and understood and loved, just so that we all can come together and make an impact. Because at the end of the day, we're all just figuring out life, and we're just like taking one step at a time. So the best way to do that is together. And so that's my why. And I really appreciate everything y'all have shown love for me.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Namisha, Sumaya, Red, Ravina, Marty, Diego, Felix, Markel. It's just such an honor to see people sharing their stories, sharing their vulnerability, sharing just how important inclusion is to everyone. And so we're grateful at the Product Management Center here that all of you have spent your day with us, learning from academic experts, learning from industry leaders, and then spending this last 45 minutes celebrating 10 people who are living what we want to see be lived here at the Product Management Center, and what I think we all need to see lived. And so really grateful for our inaugural Inclusive Product Management Champions. If you see yourself doing the hard work, I hope you'll continue to do it. I hope what you heard from them today inspires you to keep fighting and to keep doing what you've been doing. And we hope that we can nominate 10 more people, see lots more nominations, and celebrate 10 more people next year. So I just want to say, at the Product Management Center, we firmly believe the future is inclusive, bold, and inspiring. We want to work with all of you and all of the people behind me to build that future. And we're not going to stop until it's the world, we've made the world that we want to see. So I hope that you'll join us. I hope you'll join us. You can get involved by joining Sumaya and Red and I. Share your insights with the next generation, share the insights with everybody. So reach out to us if you want to be on the How to Succeed in Product Management podcast. Get involved in the Accelerator. I have to apologize because they were all turned this way and you have no idea why. We've been sitting here watching all of you on screen here. So they turned to the side to watch all of you inspire this next generation to keep fighting for their place in product management and to keep fighting once they get there, to not just look out for themselves, but to look out for a broad lens of people. So thank you for inspiring them. Thank you for inspiring me. And I hope that you will hire from the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator. I hope you will sponsor the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator. Encourage your companies to do so, because a free program, surprisingly, is expensive for somebody, just not the people in it. Anyway, I digress. That was inspiring, and then give us money. I was just kidding about that. So here's the whole crew there. We got a whole bunch of people coming in. But anyway, even without money, you could transform a life, you could inspire the next generation, and you could build a better future. We want you to do that with us here at the Product Management Center. We want you to do that through the Inclusive Product Management Accelerator, through the How to Succeed in Product Management podcast. And we're going to keep going until we've built the future. So let us know how you would want to work with us, again, as we build a more inclusive, diverse, and skilled product management community and work together to build a better future.